Hey guys, Zeta Lassa here, and welcome to another episode of No Gratification. This is going to be an episode where I look at modern world events that's currently happening. It's September, the month of September 2020, and I'm going to be checking out what's happening in Belarus with the currently the President Lukashenko has been uh, gotten attention around the world and pressure for his prolonged stay within the government and power. And I'm just going to be dissecting that and going through what I think about the situation. But first, I've introduced some intro music to my videos just to lighten the mood. Okay, I don't know why. I just felt like doing that. That was fun. I don't want to do that on every video. Just so random. Anyway, let's have a look at this news. So, guys, hundreds of women arrested at protests in Belarus. Yeah, I looked at this. I looked at this news event 3 days ago, and I just thought, like, oh man, just typical women. Just typical. Like from an outside perspective, you know nothing about this. You just agree with everything. You're just like, oh my God, Lukashenko's been a dictator for 26 years, and he's a jerk, and he is oppressing the people of Belarus, and we're gonna stand up. Ain't nobody. There's no black people in Belarus. Maybe there is, but I don't know what. But yeah, women have become the face of the protests against President Alexander Lukashenko and his police force rounded up more than 20 participants in a women's march in Minsk on Saturday. So, following a ruthless crackdown on the protests. So, what's happening is I'm going to give you the outside perspective. I'm just going to give you my perspective, which I believe is the truth. So, the outside perspective, like I said before, Lukashenko, this guy has, I don't have to give it to you. The media will feed you these lies. This is what the media, they drive this perspective to all the sheep, and the sheep gobble it up easily. So they say, uh, you know, what? Men are weak. Well, they say women can do a lot. They can fight against a dictator and economics. Men cannot do that because they are weak, but they are more vulnerable. They are being beaten more often. Women can stand up to a dictator. How can women stand up to a dictator? The men are more weak? Come on. 1,000 women who march. Initially, the procession was largely unhindered by police. Blah, blah, blah. Many women were visibly terrified as they were being well, yeah, it's a confronting situation. One woman was taken away in an ambulance after feeling sick. So nothing happened to her. She just got a sore tummy and she had to go to the hospital. I don't know if they tell you this, but from an outside perspective, what's happening in Belarus is that Belarus, uh, I try and bring this up. I try and bring up a screenshot. A couple of months ago, Lukashenko rejected mandatory face masks from the World Bank. He didn't enforce that on his country. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, the European Union and the Western forces has pointed out that Lukashenko is a dictator. Yeah, it's just suddenly they put a lot of media and attention on Lukashenko for rigging an election and being a dictator for Belarus for 26 years in power and government. Now, I'm not saying that's not wrong. It's wrong for someone to have that much power or even want to have power for that long. That is wrong. And from an outside perspective, you would just see that and be like, yep, that's wrong. This guy's a dictator. He's oppressing the people. But the problem is that you think that the other side has good intentions. Like the people, like the government of the West and the media, the Western media, has the intentions of the people, which they don't. And this is where women are completely deluded. They think this is a battle between good and evil, but it's not. It's a battle between evil and evil. Lukashenko, he's power hungry. He is. He's a greedy, power hungry guy that's been in government for too long. He's probably not the best leader. He looks like a greedy guy, no doubt. But who's the other people in power? You know, who's the other people that want the power? Look at it. Check out this lady here. I don't know her name, but look at her. She looks like the Russian Ellen DeGeneres. She looks like a man-hating lesbian. Or the other lady that suddenly, this lady over here, that she suddenly wants to get into power because her husband was detained. Or both of them women, both of them strong women, they're supported by the Western government. What do you think they're up to? I know, feminism. I'm pretty sure they support feminism. I'm pretty sure they support LGBT. I'm pretty sure they want to bring that to Belarus so they can destroy the family unit, just like they've done in America and all the Western countries, where they shit on the man, and then they support abortion, and then they support having free sex, and their women just get pumped and dumped, like all the Western women just totally getting pumped and dumped, and they become 30-40-year-old depressed, bitter women that become more feminist and more hating of the world, and then they join more of these fucking groups because they got a chip on their shoulder. They think they're angry at this government, at Lukashenko, but really they're angry because they showed their body parts too much and they got used by men, and they never found love in their life. When people don't find love in their life, they become resentful. You go two ways. If you absorb too much trauma in your life and you don't get enough love, you either become bitter and hate the world and want to destroy the world, or you go towards God, and you, in your sadness and depression and your childlessness, or you have no husband or wife, or you have no child, and you feel of a deep sense of nihilism and lack of purpose, you go to God in order to help you with these despairing feelings, and God will help you if you submit to God and plead for his help. So you go either two ways. You go to God, or you go to the devil, and you destroy yourself, and you want to destroy the world as well. And this is what these women are. These women are just sad, lonely women who are eating up the Western propaganda in order to destroy Lukashenko and destroy their country with more feminism and more liberal ideas that ruin the family and lower population. It is all to lower population. That's what the coronavirus has been there for. That is what LGBT is there for. That is what increased abortions is there for. That's what the coming vaccination is there for. It's all to lower human beings on this earth and humiliate them. I don't know why, but they have something towards humiliating the men and the women. Like the men are completely humiliating. Their lives are humiliating the Western man. They're completely needy dogs for sex, like this very, very small pleasure of sex. If for any virgins watching this, stay a virgin. It's not that, like, sex isn't all amazing as the media says it is. You know what? It's amazing when you love someone and you have someone to have sex with who loves you, that's when it's amazing. But to have it with a stranger or just random on the street is, no, it's really not that good of a feeling, you know? Like holding a shit for a long time, doing a shit after holding it for so long is a better feeling than having sex with a strange woman off the street. So, there's that. And so the men are needy dogs and humiliated because they have no respect for themselves. They chase these women with no clothes on the street. That's what's happening in this world. And the women are humiliated because they have no dignity. They just keep taking off their clothes in a desperate plea for attention and love from the opposite sex, but they just end up getting used and humiliated anyway. So yeah, welcome to this is the world we live in, and yeah, that's my take on Lukashenko, and I'm just gonna leave it on a bright note by playing the end cue music, the news music. Oh, I want it to get quicker. Okay.